The names that built this program are legendary. Lewis, Taylor, Reed, Portis, Kosar, Testaverde. And it is with reverence, respect, and excitement that we welcome you to Hard Rock Stadium, home of the Miami Hurricanes. Coaches like to say, play the next one on the schedule. This one carries a little more weight, a mid-season top 10 showdown. As we'll see the number 4 team in the country, the Auburn Tigers, taking on the 8th-ranked team in the land, the Miami Hurricanes. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, can't wait to get this one started. He thought about bringing that out for a half second, but he'll take a knee and they'll bring it to the 25. The Hurricane offense makes its way onto the field to start this game. And here he is. Let me tell you about this wide receiver. He is a route-running DB, toasting, pass-catching, touchdown-scoring, woo, son of a gun.
I can't wait to see how this defense is going to try and corral this guy, because you play man-to-man, you risk him running right by you and catching the deep ball, but you play zone and you give him the opportunity to potentially make yards after the catch. You're going to have to be really careful trying to cover that.
Wide receiver shows motion. From the gun to give, looking for room. They opened the lane, and he hit it a gain of 5 out to the 33. You know what I really like about games like this at this point in the season? You find out who you are. You find out whether you're going to stay in the race.
And who can step up and handle the challenge, right? This is easily one of the toughest games to date for both of these programs coming into this one. So there's a lot of eyeballs, David, on this game to find out who's mentally and emotionally the toughest.
Yeah, and we're going to point to this game as we get later in the year and big decisions are made. You've got a top 25 win. You beat them in the middle of the season, X, Y, and Z, so these are big for the resume.
The Hurricanes moving quickly to the line. They'll pick up 4, 2nd and 6 coming. They say all games count the same, but you get to this portion of the season and a chance to win a top 10 battle like this carries a little extra weight.
And whoever keeps the top 10 number beside their name after this game will have earned it, because these two teams are very talented, David. We're now at the midpoint of the season. We're starting to get an idea of who these teams are. We're going to find out a whole lot more here today.
Yeah, dang right. How much implications down the road does this have? But how about you get an idea of exactly where you stand right in the middle of the season, playoffs down the road, make your statement here today.
And he's a real nowhere man tackled in this no-game land. This offense has a 2nd down play. He's looking to throw. The sweet feet buy a little time. And he can find a receiver, and down he goes.
What a great play on defense there. It was virtually unblockable. He reminds me of Nick Fairley, probably the most dominant Auburn Tiger defender.
And here comes the pressure, and there he goes down again.
Man, this defense has been so impressive to watch. Look at them. Get to the quarterback, get the sack. They play so fast. It's like they have 12 men on the field. Another good performance going down right now. Coming off of last week, putting a goose egg on the board against their last opponent.
So they were able to put up a 3 spot on that last drive, and now the kickoff team out there as they prepare to put boot to leather. And he takes this from inside the 5. And the returner runs out of real estate as he goes down. The Tigers offense will take the field for the first time. You know, David, both of these teams have a strong safety that can support the run and also disruptive in the passing game.
I mean, it's just so nice to have a guy that's so physical, like a linebacker, but also can play like a DB. These guys are really revolutionizing defenses.
They hit people, too. They are heat-seeking missiles. Nobody wants to run over the middle of the field against these guys.
This crowd going to try to make life miserable for these guys. Handoff from the gun. They get him stopped at the 32. That's a gain of 4. These guys have really performed at a high level in SEC play, and the task is to try to keep this groove going.
Yeah, when you start the season like this, man, this is exactly what you drew up. Win your conference, be great in your conference, get to the conference championship. I'm not putting the cart before the horse, Palmer, but great start.
No doubt. To win the SEC is a long road. You know about that. I know about that personally. They just got to take one game at a time. They've done an outstanding job of doing that this year.
And he just needed a few inches, and he didn't get it. The defense denies this offense. They're in their own territory, but they are undeterred. 4th and inches, and they'll go for it. He breaks a tackle. The Tigers pick up the first down.
We're seeing this more and more often in college football with the analytics and everything else. But 4th and inches, they decide to go for it, and they pick it up on the ground.
You know, I really think it's a smart move, too, because why just give up and hand them the ball and give the defense a boost of morale that they really didn't earn?
Yeah, and I like the decision, too, based on who their personnel is and what their identity is as an offense. They want to be physical and control the line of scrimmage. It's a good call.
They'll give it to the back. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
And that play shows you really what this defense is about. It's a difficult one to attack. They're really good. One of the best in the country. They come at you from all angles. So I'm interested to watch. How do you mix up the play calling? How do you keep the defense off balance? Because they are a good
Great team defense on that run play. Everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones, D linemen staying in their gaps, linebackers and DBs filling. You just can't do it better.
And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up.
This is a point where you just got to be able to focus. And the critical down and distances in this game, like that 3rd down right there. When it's a good throw, you got to make the catch. You got to be able to make that play.
Fires to the middle. And the 4th down pass falls incomplete, and they'll have to give up the football. Here comes the Hurricane offense looking to gather a little more strength. Line gets set. 1st down. Going to the ground. A strong tackle and wrap-up from the junior.
Now, that's what you're trying to do as a defense. Limit those damages when they run the football. Get them on the ground, short gains to set your defense for positive situations down the road.
He's looking for a man on 2nd down. And the incomplete pass will wrap up the 1st quarter. We've reached the end of the quarter, and Miami is on top. We've put one in the books. Let's have a look at our game summary. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game as we open the 2nd quarter. Now facing a 3rd down as they line up after the break. From the gun, wants to pass. Quickly complete. And the Canes will try to pin them back with the punt. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. He gets the first one off, and he was busier than he hoped in that loss last week, being called on 5 times. Really good job by the coverage team to make the stop, and that's where they'll put it in play. Now here comes that Auburn offense onto the field again. They've got it back after that last drive stalling out, and they were stopped on 4th down, David.
Yeah, and they put a little bit of a drive together, but, Jesse, they stalled on the other side of the field. They got to find a way to keep that momentum going as they get closer to the end zone.
I agree. I do like their mindset, though, and I think they need to continue being aggressive moving forward in this game.
The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. Looking for a productive play on 1st down. Touch pass on the jet sweep. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage.
I like offenses being creative. I'm not sure if that was the best place to call that play. I think this offense needs to think about just doing things a little bit more by the book. They've got a lot of good playmakers. You don't have to reinvent the wheel this early in the game.
On 2nd down, he'll let it fly. That pass is incomplete, and they're probably fortunate that it wasn't knocked free for a fumble.
And that defender was just smothering the quarterback on that screen attempt. You know, the QB's taught to hold on to it to the last possible second. He had no shot trying to negotiate that defender.
Buys a little time. Fighting off the defender. And sure, tackling there to keep him from getting to the first down marker.
These guys aren't human. I mean, they got to survey the field, throw the football, make deep passes, and then guess what else? They pull the ball down, take off, and make big chunks of plays on the ground. It's just impossible to be on defense nowadays.
Trying to show their strength with the run on fourth down. Looks as if Auburn will have enough for the first down.
Well, that's about as risky as he can get as a head coach. Early in the game, fourth down, deep in your own end, and you go for it? Nice job, offense.
Now on first down from the 28. Defense fills those gaps. He's got one to the 28.
And a lot of times you want those big plays. You want those splash plays. But sometimes you're going to take some losses. You're not going to run the football overly well. But if you continue to run it, you can at least create some balance. You at least have the threat of it. Otherwise, you're just going to abandon it, and now it's just going to be a passing game. And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is good. And then it's all run up to the catch, so pretty easy for a QB.
You wouldn't have been the only All-American in this booth, Dave, if I were allowed to have push passes when I was playing quarterback. I'll tell you that. It is so hard to defend. It's so hard to seal that edge, especially when this guy's full speed ahead coming around the outside.
On fourth down, looking to pass. Quarterback now breaking the field. And he's sacked. A big play on fourth down to stop this drive.
Hey, at this point of the game, fourth and short, no problem going for it. Fourth and medium, I think it's too early to start taking some of these chances. I think you need to just let the game play out a little bit and trust your defense.
The give to the running back from the shotgun. That play just never had a chance. They knock him down for a loss of 5.
Linebackers have such an amazing responsibility. Got to play run, got to play pass. How about this? Seeing the run aggressively, getting downhill, and getting in the backfield and making a tackle for a loss.
Stop is made, but he picks up 4 yards down to the 21-yard line.
And as an offense, having success on a run play like that early in the game just opens up all the possibilities of your playbook moving forward. Play action, running the ball, throwing the ball, screens, anything is at your disposal at this point.
That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up fourth down. Right down the boulevard. It's good. After putting up a 3-spot, the kickoff unit set to go. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. And Auburn is ready to go back to work on offense. I think the one thing you can say here, Jesse, is that both defenses have done a pretty good job mitigating damages.
Yeah, and on that last drive, not getting it on fourth basically only cost you 3 points. That's the good news. Let's just turn the page, David, and move on.
So I think you can still be aggressive. You can still go for it on fourth down. Now you know you can trust your defense.
Now on second down. They'll leave it with him. Brought down to the ground, but he has enough for the first down.
You know, in the SEC, you're going to have to run the football if you're going to win games. And you can go on and on talking about great Auburn running backs back in the day, but right here, right now, if this team's going to win an SEC championship, they need to force-feed this guy the football and let him go to work.
Last play was a near disaster, now dealing with 2nd and 13. He's looking to throw. Not able to hook up there, incomplete. It's third down now, and they ought to be able to get off one more play before the 2-minute warning. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. That pass is well off target. He got hit as he was trying to throw, and they can't convert on third down. Auburn's going to have to send out the punt team. This will be their first punt of the afternoon. Everybody stays in their lanes, well enough, and they stop him at the 31-yard line. And here comes that Miami offense back onto the field. They've had a couple of productive drives, but they've had to settle for field goals in 2 of their 3 previous possessions, Jesse.
Yeah, this is an offense that takes a lot of pride in execution, and they feel like they should have scored a touchdown every single drive. So while it's been good, not great, David, just execute a little bit better, and they can put this one in the end zone this time.
Yeah, and I think you point that out. We went all the way down the field on 2 of our first 3 drives and got field goals. Now, just a little better execution when that field starts to shrink and it gets a little bit more difficult.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
Trying to escape and get it himself. And a nice pickup on the run and gets down to avoid contact.
And you're seeing here the difficulties defenses have trying to contain this guy. If you leave a lane open or you don't sack him right away, you allow him to get outside the pocket, he is going to take off, and he is very difficult to tackle in the open field. He's got running back-like ability out in space.
From the gun. Into the end zone. He was open, he had it, and he dropped it. Would have been a touchdown. Instead, it's second down. And the D deny them on 2nd and goal. He's looking to throw. Ball into the end zone, and it's intercepted. And he's brought down, and this defense gets the ball back for its own. Never a good time for a turnover, but it always seems a little worse when you're about to knock on the door of the end zone.
No doubt about it. And it's this area of the field, Reese, where your execution really has to be great. Because down in the red zone, the windows to throw into it for a quarterback, they're smaller, and they close a lot quicker. So you really have to be on the same page as your wide receiver. And that time, the offense and the QB simply wouldn't.
Still at their own 20 after that last incompletion. It's 2nd and 10. He's looking to throw. Shoots it to the left. And that pass picked off. Bringing it back. Really nice focus by this sophomore, and he jumped on his chance to make a play.
What a game-changing play by this defense. Nice job. You got them backed up in their own territory coming out. Now you force the turnover. Set your offense up with some great scoring field position.
Here comes the Hurricane offense looking to gather a little more strength. They're already in field goal range, but Jesse, they want to be aggressive, but they can't take a negative play.
Well, the play caller's got to look up and down his sheet here to find a shot to the end zone, David. Be aggressive and see if you can get a touchdown late.
While knowing that I've got 3 in my back pocket. Don't force the ball into a bad situation, but we're definitely trying to get a touchdown.
On 2nd down, they'll take to the air. And good coverage and better hands by the defender to knock it down in the end zone. Now needing to convert this 3rd and short from the 10. From the gun, wants to pass. He's got it. They will score. Touchdown, Hurricane. A quick strike, just as we expected.
And quick strikes are easy when you got such great field position. Obviously, when the offense starts in such a good spot, puts the defense in a bad position, and the offense takes advantage.
So they got the touchdown, and as they kick off, really important for the defense to shut them down here. Here he comes from inside his own 5. And the returner will be dragged down. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. Quarterback will audible. They're going to open this drive with a pass. Pass is incomplete. The clock is down to 9.
Doesn't take this defense a lot of time to get to the quarterback, man. They've got speed all over the place. They hit him so quickly, and because of that, the ball falls incomplete.
Get it out on the screen. They make the stop right there. Good pickup. It's still short of the 1st down. A timeout is called as this offense tries to find a way to get more points on the board before the half. They'll have just enough time to get one more snap before the half. They'll try to get it through the air. He hurls one deep down the left side. Pass is incomplete, and that's going to do it for the first half. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Thanks, guys. Looks like we've got a terrific start from there in beautiful Miami Gardens.
And the Canes will line up to kick off and start the second half. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Now here comes that Auburn offense onto the field again. Trailing by a couple of scores, they'd like to generate some confidence here early in the third quarter.
Down 2 possessions, the coaching staff met in at halftime, and they've probably scripted this opening drive. Just like they do at the start of the game, they've now got an idea of what plays they feel most confident in, what plays their quarterback is seeing the best to go out here and execute a scoring goal.
Well, and it's nice to get the ball first. Like, I got the first opportunity to close the gap a little bit, apply some great game pressure to these guys. So I think getting the ball first, driving down, scoring right here would be huge.
He's now up to 70 yards on the ground, and that magical 1,000-yard mark is oh so close. Here's an opportunity for this offense in search of its first touchdown. It's 1st and 10. Trying to get the edge on the jet sweep. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
That's a great job by the defense, understanding exactly the situation, understanding to stay home, play sound. No matter who gets the football, we're going to run to the football hard. We're going to cage the football, be disciplined. Nice job by the defense.
He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is. We'll repeat the previous down, but this time the offense has 10 more yards it has to cover. Second down coming up. He's looking to throw. Gets it out quickly. Still running at the 40. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. And this offense can ill afford to come up empty on this drive, already trailing by multiple possessions. Defense was not fooled by that screen to the back, and they'll stop him short of the marker. It'll be 4th down.
That's a tough one to execute on offense in that situation. 3rd down, you know it's going to be man coverage. If that receiver's not able to create any separation, then he's going to get tackled as soon as he catches the ball. And that's exactly what happened, now setting up 4th down.
When you got the ball on their side of the field on 4th and 1, you are absolutely going to go for it and be aggressive. Am I right?
You are right. You know, some may say the quarterback talked the coach into it, but the quarterback's decision is on 3rd down. If he doesn't get it, 4th down is up to the coach.
And listen, every player wants to go for it. The coach always makes the decision. The players always make it.
Here comes 2nd down, and this crowd is turning it up a notch. Hand off from the shotgun. Finally pulled down, but not before. Moving the chains for a 1st down. This crowd knows they have to bring it in big moments, and one of those has arrived. They'll ride the hot hand. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
How about the defender being a heat-seeking missile? He was on radar lock. He found the football and flew down with some bad intentions.
Got enough space.
I'll tell you what, that's great execution between the QB and receiver. They look like they could execute that throw in their sleep. The quarterback took his steps, threw it on time. Great route by the receiver. Nice job securing the catch.
They'll dial up the run on 1st and goal. And he takes it to the house. Touchdown, Auburn. And with the extra point, every little bit counts as they get closer. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. He'll bring it out. It's Hall. He's got great speed. Got a little room. There he goes. Open it up. He'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Miami. No guts, no glory. Caught it in the end zone. Didn't hesitate for a millisecond to take that thing back, and boy, did it pay off.
And this is why kickoff returns are so exciting. There's so much space between you and the other team flying down the field. The only time you're going to be provided that much space, and you could tell he knew what to do with that space. Kicked on the Jets by Felicia.
On the run from inside his own 5. And they'll get him on the ground as the offense comes out to start the next drive. Okay, so here comes the offense returning to the field. Last time they had it, they took it down the field for a touchdown. They can build some confidence that they could go back-to-back scoring drives here.
Yeah, and remember, it's not uncommon for offenses to find themselves as the game goes on. They had some things not go their way early.
He lobs one high down the left side. Into double coverage, and they made him pay. It's intercepted. Never had a chance to get rolling after the pick, but he gives them the ball in prime field position at the 40. They'll start this drive and snap it from the 40. Running back searching for a hole. Turns it on at midfield. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a first down. And the Hurricanes want to move quickly.
Well, there's the offense trying to take advantage of this running back speed. I like the call. Hand off to the left, to the outside. Put him in space and let him go to work.
Fires to the big fella. Tough, physical, hard-nosed running gets it to the 34.
Love the decision-making by the quarterback there on the RPO play. Defense took everything away deep down the field, so just check it down, get it to your guy in the right flat, and let him go get yards.
From the gun, running back on the move. He works his way down to the 30-yard line before he stopped a gain of 3. They've worked it down to the 30. This defense standing tall, trying to force a field goal try. The Canes will move the sticks. It'll be a 1st and 10 from the 29. He's going to pass. And he goes down after making the grab, picks up a few, but still short of the first down. Now on 2nd down. Slammed to the ground, but not before he gets the first down. The Hurricanes will snap it on 1st and 10. And a flag flies as the pass is incomplete. Let's see who it's on. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. The offense set for a 1st down play. From the shotgun, the inside give. Pulled down after a pickup of 3. Ball's at the 13. We've reached the end of the quarter, and Miami is on top. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. When you're dealing with a deficit like this, it's all about somebody stepping up to make a play, and you might as well start here in the 4th quarter. 2nd down coming up on this red zone opportunity. He's looking to throw. He's got it and still on his feet. Couldn't quite nudge it in. Not sure you could get much closer, but it'll be 1st and goal.
I love an offense that wants to stay aggressive. Even when you've got the lead late in a game like this, right, you still try to find your playmakers and get them the ball in space, and that is exactly what this offense is.
And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Canes. With that score, it looks as if this bunch is about to go 6-1. Follow the blocker. The offensive line will take you to the hallelujah land.
And I tell you what, most of the time, Reese, it requires a little bit of skill to find that hole and slither through a little crack. That was not a crack. That was wide open. Didn't take a lot of vision because the blocking was outstanding.
And Auburn is ready to go back to work on offense. Well, the good news about this drive, Jesse, it can't go worse than last time through a pick on the first play.
No, it certainly can't. I think one good way, David, to help your quarterback turn the page is just find him an easy completion here and let him get back into a run.
Yeah, or find him an easy handoff. Just hand the football off, maybe get the ground game going, maybe jumpstart this offense a little bit.
He wants to throw here on second down. Makes the grab. Crosses the 30. He's got away. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a first down. Fresh set of downs after the completion. Comes out throwing on first down. He'll take the deep shot. And he is finding wide open defenders all over the field. His third interception of the day. And they capitalize not only on the pick, but the great return to give the offense tremendous field position.
And as a defensive lineman late in the game, man, when you know it's passion, you're pinning your ears back, trying to get to the quarterback, and DBs are trying to do this. Pad them stats, get the INT. Nice job by this defense.
And the defense snows him under after a very short gain. After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line 2nd and 7. The give to the back. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. It'll be interesting to see what the offense does on this next one.
So here comes the field goal unit. They've been doing work today. They've already made a couple. Everything will have to be clean from 55 yards away. And it's no good. He missed it. Guys, I know the field goal wasn't good, but, hey, 19. That's a pretty good lead. Now here comes that Auburn offense onto the field again. Wasting no time throwing on this drive. How about that play to get a hand in there and force the incompletion? After the quarterback and receiver failed to hook up, they'll try it again on second down. Wide receiver now comes in motion. He's back to throw on second down. And it is another interception. Just a terrible struggle for this quarterback. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick. Boy, this is just the type of field position this offense wants. The give to the single back. Relying on that running game, and it works for about 3 yards to the 31.
It's just so nice to know you can start off on first down with positive plays. Positive yards, hand the football off, set up a good second down.
Running back goes in motion. On second down, he's looking downfield. And that pass is intercepted. Got room on the return at the 20. And it's going to be a pick 6. Touchdown, Tigers.
And this defense has had a rough day, but how about this play? Breaking on the football, making the pick, taking it to the house, maybe build some momentum for some future games.
Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Guys, let's get you up to speed on what's going down in this fun college football game today. TCU is currently trailing, but if this young star leads a comeback today, he could join former Heisman winner Davey O'Brien among the legends to wear that uniform. They're trailing by just 2 to Florida State. We've got our eye on this one and everything else going on throughout the day. Guys?
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. On the ground, trying to pull the plug on this clock. They believe in that running game. Got 6 before he stopped at the 23.
And I think if you're the head coach, defensively now, obviously, you've got 3 timeouts in your back pocket. You're trailing at this point, and the offense is going to be running the football, trying to bleed the clock. They're going to take as much time off the game clock as they can before snapping it. You've got to start thinking about using some of those timeouts.
They'll put the tight end in motion. And I don't think they got it snapped before the play clock ran out.
Delay of game. Offense.
So frustrating to see an offense lose track of the play clock and pick up a penalty like that. Here comes the offense on second down. From the gun, give on the inside. He'll be stopped just short of the 20 at the 19, give him 1. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. A 3rd and long coming up here. Fights off a defender. Quarterback gets enough. Afterburner's coming. And that tackle almost certainly saved the touchdown after he ripped off a huge gain.
You cannot let that happen to you defensively. That is the definition of getting gashed. They didn't have one guy in their front 7. You can get a finger on that guy.
We've reached the 2-minute warning, and this offense is that much closer to salting away a victory. And the Canes will snap it on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll run it inside. Able to pick his way forward for a decent game before the defense gets him down. After the productive 1st down play, it's 2nd and 6. Give to the running back. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. They tried to run the counter, but absolutely nothing doing.
And those counter plays take